Hanif Abdurraqib's love for the Columbus community and its people is broad and deep.
My commitment to Columbus means quite simply that I not only live here, but I'm an active participant in the shaping of the city. And that happens in ways I think both large and small.
An internationally recognized author, poet, and cultural commentator, Hanif gives time, talent, and treasure to many causes in his home city.
One thing that is really great to me as someone who lives here, who loves being here, and is committed to being here, is that I am, in a way, no different than anyone else who I interact with in the city. We all kind of grew up together. We're all here. We're all present. And I really enjoy, more than anything, the interactions I get to have with other people who live here who don't always really care if I've won an award or written a thing or where my work is being recognized. They mostly just care that I'm here and I'm out in the city and not shut in my house as a recluse, although that is tempting. I do love these small interactions I have, which I think build a better version of myself and build a better version of the city I love.
And he's always just like sharing and promoting and uplifting things that are happening here and things that are done to like supporting the work to keep people like held and feel safe and feel welcomed in the place they call home too. And that's such a huge act of love. I mean, even just for me, and I'm from Cleveland, I'm not from Columbus, even though I've lived here for a long time. Hanif came to some of my very first art exhibitions, and he was one of the first people to, I think maybe the first person to like professionally write about my work. And that's just, if your work isn't written about, it's hard to like have it kind of made concrete. And for him, someone like Hanif to take that time out of his like busy schedule to write about my practice was, it's like, it's a indescribable gift.
This passion and selfless generosity often goes unnoticed or unremarked, but it is felt community-wide. Most recently, Hanif was the driving force behind the People's Back to School Party, a unique free event celebrating community and education. Through his partnerships with multiple nonprofits, Hanif helped lift up a variety of Black voices, provided a platform for rising high school poets, and brought people from multiple neighborhoods and generations together. The People's Back to School Party also provided gourmet meals, books, and more than 125 book bags stuffed with school supplies to young people. As an artist, Hanif's accomplishments and accolades are many. The author of 5 books, he has received the 2022 Ohioana Award for Nonfiction, the 2021 MacArthur Fellowship Award, and the 2020 Lenore Marshall Prize. Hanif touches millions through his writing, but his grassroots community work is what makes the deepest and most lasting impressions on the people of Columbus.
I was reluctant at first to have it done. You know, when I got approached and the idea was, we're going to put your face on a building, that was a little bit alarming for me. You know, I'm not someone who really requires that level of decoration. I also live in this neighborhood. I grew up on the east side. I was born and raised on the east side of Columbus. I live on the east side of Columbus now. And so in a way, I was also a bit jarred by the idea of having to potentially drive by my own face on a regular basis. But truthfully, my work, hopefully my work in the city and beyond, primarily revolves around how effectively I can uplift other people. And so I never really want to be the center of attention. But I was talking to a mentor of mine, the great critic Greg Tate, and he said this thing about how, you know, he passed away last year. So this he told me when he was still living earlier last year. He said this thing about how they only usually do this thing for folks after they die. You know, you usually don't get to be alive in a place you love and be celebrated by the place you love in such a tangible and tactile way. And that felt important to hear. And it allowed me to surrender this idea of just like allowing it to happen, right? Not treating it as something that was happening to me or even happening for me, but happening at the intersection of a city wanting to celebrate someone who has chosen to uplift it, has chosen to stay here, who's chosen to really dig my feet in and do the work I do here, and try to create a precedent for a broad range of work that does not require me to leave the place I love.